What is up, friends, lovers, enemies of J.K. Rowling? This is the, no joke, 5th time that I have recorded this video. I hate it. I hate myself. I hate the world that I'm living in. Yes, I will be reading the fanfiction that I wrote when I was 13, 14, because someone in the comments asked for it, and also when I told Elsa I don't think I could film it another time, she was like, but I want it. Elsa, I hate you, but this is for you. I really might only read chapter 3 because it is so painful every freaking time that I do this, because chapter 4 is horrendous. Like, I don't think I can do it all in one video is what I'm saying. I think I could do it in a separate one, but I just don't think I can do 2 chapters in one because I don't think I can do it. Also, these chapters aren't as good as the previous 2, unfortunately, so I am a little sad that I am a talentless hack. Chapter 3. There was a pecking coming from the window when Harry sat at the kitchen table, reading the rest of that day's Daily Prophet as the dishes washed themselves and the laundry folded itself. He didn't look up. He was aiming to finish the article he was reading before he had to open the window. Maybe by that time, Ginny would have gotten up and opened it instead. Then the pecking came again. Just proof that men are lazy. I wrote it in. Just kidding. It's not proof. I just whatever.
Have you ever had a dream that you do?
Harry, can you get that? Ginny called from the family room. She was watching the telly. I really tried to be British, so I just I'm obviously not British. I feel like if you were reading this, it would be super obvious that I was just trying to be authentically British when I'm American.
And now me rapping Nicki Minaj as Adele in a Dolly Parton wig.
Pulled up in the monster automobile gangster with a bad bitch that came from Sri Lanka. Yeah, I'm in the tanker, colour a Willy Wonka. You could be the king, but watch the queen conquer.
Nowadays, every household had one, be it a muggle or wizard home. The whole world was just becoming so high-tech that the wizarding world had to keep up, or the muggles would suspect them. Reluctantly, Harry sat down the paper. It wasn't really an interesting article anyway, and went to the window to let in the owl. To his surprise, when he opened the door, 2 owls flew in. The family owl, Nymphadora, and the Hogwarts owl, Hermes. Am I to assume that there's only one Hogwarts owl? There's obviously not, but I said, let's give him a name. Attached to Hermes' leg was a piece of rolled up parchment, like this letter had been written in a hurry. Harry didn't call to Ginny. He just thought this was odd. Okay, something big must have happened, and Harry was filled with apprehension as he unraveled the scroll. Was it bad news or good news? Well, you wouldn't feel apprehension if it was good news. But I guess he wouldn't have known that. Okay. What had happened at the sorting ceremony that evening? Had Albus actually been sorted into Slytherin? Dear Dad, I know you'll eventually tell Mum about this. And that's okay, but I want you to read this first. Albus was sorted into Slytherin. I don't know what to do. It's horrible. What if he becomes, bad? Why hadn't he been sorted into Gryffindor? What did he ever do to deserve this? Can you please send a letter to Professor McGonagall and ask her to have Albus resorted? Please, anything. He doesn't deserve to stay there. Love, James. P.S. That Malfoy boy was also sorted into Slytherin. Please help. Why had he ever told his children about his childhood rivalry with Draco Malfoy? He wasn't so bad in the end. I literally hate myself so much. But Draco had been misguided, as had Severus Snape, whom Albus was named after.
Jail. You're going to jail.
Just like it's so cringy, I literally feel like my skin's gonna slink off like a snake's. But Harry trusted the sorting hat, so he didn't know what to think. Not all Slytherins were bad, right? Harry sighed and ruffled through his hair. Ginny? His voice cracked. Yeah, Ginny called from the other room, not really wanting to go to the kitchen. Her television program was getting really gripping. Duh. Ginny, can you come in here? It's kind of important, Harry called. Ginny unenthusiastically paused her television program. Just call it a show. Literally just call it a show. And came into the kitchen. She wore a purple tank top and some sweatpants. But does she not work? The fuck? And came into the kitchen. That she still looked beautiful to Harry. She always did. Harry pushed his new semi-rectangular glasses up the bridge of his nose. Who cares if they are new? And who cares what shape they are, but whatever. Let's just, add in just details that are so irrelevant. Go off, King. What's the matter, Harry? She asked. Well, I just got a letter from James, Harry said. Really? She said. Last year he didn't even write until the whole week had gone by and we sent him a letter. Yeah, Harry said quickly, probably because this year's much different from last year. He put the letter down on the table and ran his hands through his hair. He sighed. Ginny, Albus was sorted into Slytherin. Harry's eyes were closed, scared of what Ginny's reaction might be. But Ginny stood there. She just didn't want to comprehend. And she's valid. Her head was spinning. What had he just said? Albus was what? How? Owls rained down from... No transition. Not a single transition. Just straight into it. Owls rained down from the sky, as was typical for the first day of school. Oh no, this is the painful one. This is the bad place. Parents wanted to know if their children had gotten to school safely, how the sorting went, that sort of thing. Scorpius, myself insert, Tomica, Lorcan and Lysander, and every Weasley received a letter. And so did Albus. Don't be afraid to open it, Tomica said. Ugh, come on, here. We'll read mine first. Do you have to share it with me? Can't you share it with your friends? Albus asked. He didn't understand why Tomica kept hanging around him. She was a year older and nice and actually kind of pretty. Albus was a dork. He didn't have any friends outside of his family. Because his family's fucking huge, so he doesn't need any additional friends. Most of my friends are in Ravenclaw anyway, and I only have 2 friends in Slytherin. One of them is coming late because she's at her dead grandfather's funeral. Her grandfather is dead. She has a dead grandfather, Tomica said. It just needed to can't have a chapter without a reference to a Harry Potter musical. Except I think this is a Harry Potter sequel. So, yeah. Yes, it is. Yeah, I get it, okay? Albus said before she could continue. And my best guy friend here in Slytherin is probably busy making out with his new girlfriend, Tomica guessed. I haven't really gone looking for him. He can come to me first. Oh my god, go to therapy. Oh, sorry, Al said, sensing some fight had happened. No, it's okay, it's pretty typical, Tomica said, and my only family member in Slytherin, Arcturus, which is Elsa's, original character, Arcturus is a pretty big downer. Gee, thanks. The boy with shaggy hair and green eyes from the previous night sat across from them at the table again. Jesus, that's a run-on. Tomica stuck her tongue out at him. Bet you didn't get a letter this morning, huh? Tomica pushed his buttons. Actually, I did, Arcturus said, and I'm planning to write back. Oh god, I really want to kill myself when I have to read this, but this is me digging at Elsa because she has good handwriting. With my pretty girl perfect handwriting and pencil on computer paper. Because it's not parchment or whatever. Albus could just hear the nails on the blackboard of Tomica's brain, though he hardly knew her. Why must you always punish your mother so? Tomica felt pain for her cousin. She's like my favorite cousin. Elsa. Why do you always do this to her? Because there's nothing wrong with it, Arcturus said. Maybe in your opinion there isn't. Tomica stuck her nose up. So you're saying I have a shitty opinion? Arcturus pressed. Well, yeah. In this case you do, Tomica said. Well, okay then. Ravenclaw is... God, I hate this. Oh my god, I'm gonna vomit. I hate my younger self so much. I'm doing this for you guys. You wanted it, you're getting it. Okay then. Ravenclaw is the best house, Slytherin is the most amazing house, Moaning Myrtle is the coolest ghost we'll all ever meet, and Arcturus couldn't think of another thing to say, so Tomica easily stepped in. Severus Snape is the kindest, bravest, gentlest, sexiest man I've ever met. You're welcome for the Harry Potter musical reference. I am gonna go die now.
And I even think Snape might be trying to kill Harry Potter.
Severus Snape is one of the kindest, bravest, gentlest, sexiest men I have ever
Tomika chipped in. Arcturus didn't even pay attention to what she said and promptly repeated it smugly without thinking. Severus Snape is the kindest, bravest, gentlest, sexiest man I've ever met, Arcturus said. Hey!
You need the internet taken away from you. You are a danger to society.
Hey to myself, don't be dumb and write this down. Just throw it into the fire instead. Haha, gotcha, Tomika said satisfyingly. Plus, that was a totally different case. Okay, Albus said before they could start another round. Just read me your damn letter already. With pleasure, Tomika said, fluffing her feathers and opening her envelope. Dear Tomika, how are you? Are any of the new students anyone we know? Who are you sharing your bunk bed with this year? Hopefully not anyone you're going to have issues with like last year. That I never went back and wrapped up. How is Stephanie? Is she at school yet? Tell her we're sorry for her loss. We're completely moved in now. Could you ask Professor McGonagall if you could still attend Hogwarts even though we live so far away now? We would rather send you to a magical school where you can communicate with everyone much easier than if we sent you to the Japanese magic school. Nothing has happened since you left. Do you want to come and see our new house during winter break, or do you want to see Grandma and Grandpa like we usually do? We miss you so much. Love, Mom and Dad. Anyways, this is from when I had my phase where I was obsessed with New Zealand, which I'm still obsessed with, but every time I bring it up, everyone's like, there's spiders there that are the size of your head, and I have like really horrific arachnophobia, so I guess I'm just not gonna do that, and I'll move to like New York or maybe Dublin, but probably not New Zealand, and probably not the south of France. And definitely not going to make Aliyah because it is way too expensive to live in Israel for no reason. I just got one question, Albus said. Did you just recently move here? No, I actually lived here for like 2 years, but now my parents moved to New Zealand, Tommy answered, like Tommy Lauren, who ruined this nickname for me. My parents have always wanted to live here and in New Zealand. It's my mom's dream to own a bookstore and a bakery in New Zealand and live on the beach. Which is low-key still a little bit of my dream, but I think I would get bored. Not only would I get bored, I would also... Starting a business costs too much money, so no thanks. Also, that's capitalism. Oh, okay, Albus said. He then opened his envelope, acting like it was nothing, but inside he was going crazy with fear and anxiety. Did his parents know? If they didn't, how would he tell them? He really did not want to read the letter, but it was now or never. Dear Albus, what happened? How are you? Are you okay? Why did the Sorting Hat put you in Slytherin? Are you okay there? Do you want to be moved out of that house? Has Malfoy given you any trouble? If you need anything, just tell us or Professor Longbottom. We love you. You know that, right? Don't forget it. We could never stop loving you, and your house doesn't impact that. If you don't want to be there, we can ask Professor McGonagall, which I might have spelled wrong there, to get you resorted. But wherever the hat puts you then, that's where you are to stay. That sounds like a threat. Do you have any friends in Slytherin? Are they nice? Don't hang out with the wrong type of Slytherin. Which you could say about any house, but whatever. Please write back soon and talk to James and the rest of our family at Gryffindor. It would be in Gryffindor. Okay, I do not need to correct my grammar. However many years later this is. 9 years later? James is really worried about you, and we're sure the rest of the family is too. We want to make sure you are happy wherever you are. Please write soon. We love you, Mom and Dad. I do think that the comments really just take me for a ride one time, like all the time. I will, maybe instead of next time reading the fanfiction, I'll go through the comments because I think that's really the most interesting part. This fanfiction, how many reads is it at this point? I think it's a lot. 22.9 thousand people have read this fanfiction, and right now it's ranked number 22 in Harry. 434 people have added it to their favorites. So that's quite interesting. And it's number 1 in Malfoy. I think I just like tagged all of these. So it's like number 1 in these tags. It's number 22 in Harry. That's pretty impressive considering that there's Harry Styles fanfiction in the world. It's number 2 in Slytherin. I don't know why I tagged Slytherin, but okay. And number 2 in Weasley. But I guess number 2 in Harry is impressive because it's out of 820 stories. Alright. Go off. Yeah, I don't think anyone's really been reading it recently, but every once in a while it just, like, gets a bunch of attention again. And at one point, like, a few years ago, I was gonna go back and finish it, which, like, maybe I'll do after I read through all of this, but I also just, like, don't think I have the energy to finish writing it. I didn't really have a trajectory, and I did honestly model this after a fan fiction that was being read on Pottercast, kind of around this time. So, was it a unique idea? No, it was not. Is there also a musical episode? Yes, there is. Which I know is only going to make people want me to read more of it. Which, fine, okay, maybe I'll do. If you want me to keep reading it, comment it, because I don't really pay attention to the likes on my videos, because there was, like, a long period of time where all of my videos were just getting a lot of dislikes because I made a video about how PewDiePie is a Nazi, and there was just like 1,000,001 white supremacists in my comments and disliking the video. And I don't want to, so I don't pay attention to it. Yeah, that's the tea. If you like this, give a like. If you want me to do another one, comment, obviously, because otherwise I won't know. And also, obviously, if you want to see more of this, you gotta subscribe, because otherwise it probably won't pop up on your feed. And if you're really interesting, you could click the notifications bell. I don't know why you would want to do that, but you could. The option is always there. Thank you so much. Let me sound grateful for a moment. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time.
Mamma mia, here I go again.